how are you? Today I want to talk to you about making a butternut squash soup. I love butternut squash soup. I love to make it in the fall. I actually love to make extra and freeze it, and with a butternut squash this size, I may even have enough extra because it's always good to have around. So first thing we're going to do, I'm going to tell you all the ingredients that you're going to need, and then let me move you around so you can see me, and I'm just going to start cooking while I'm talking to you about those things. So what I like to do is I like to, you're basically going to cook down your butternut squash. These are the things you need. You're going to need an onion. You're going to need a butternut squash, obviously. You're going to need vegetable broth, red pepper flakes, some olive oil. You're going to need some kind of device, I'll call it, some kind of device for pureeing your soup. Now, do you have a Vitamix? Awesome. You could throw it in your Vitamix. If you have a handheld blender, you can, like a hand blender, you can do that. You can use a number of different ways to get it blended, but you are going to need to have the ability to blend it. You could blend your soup, I guess, in like a food processor. That would work too. But whatever you do, whoa, this onion is potent. Whatever you do, you are going to need to blend it. So, oh my God, I'm seriously going to start crying. You're going to put a little olive oil in the pan. How much olive oil? Tablespoon, tablespoon and a half, something like that. Okay, so what I like to do is get my oven on. There we go. Technical difficulties with that. I like to chop my onion very, very small. Now, for this particular recipe, it's not going to matter as much how small you chop your onion because we're going to be pureeing it at some point. So I'm worried less about is it minced, is it chopped, and all that stuff, and more about is it going to get the right cook. So how's it going to get the right cook? You're going to let your olive oil heat up for a little while, and then we're going to throw the onion into the pan. I'm also going to be using, in my onion mixture, I'm going to use onion, I'm going to use a little garlic, I'm going to use a little ground ginger, I'm going to use a little cinnamon, and probably some red pepper flakes. I'm going to mix that all together. You could, in that mixture, you could add cumin, you could add a little maybe a little chili powder, or cayenne pepper, something to give it a little heat. I might actually do that today. We'll see what happens. All right, so the olive oil is a little hot. I know it's hot because when I throw my onions in, you hear it start to sizzle. So that is a good sign that your pan is hot enough. Another little trick you can do, you could take one teeny little piece of onion and put it in the pot and see if it starts to sizzle. And if it does, then you know you're ready to put it all in. So just going to let that cook down. I'm going to lower it to medium heat. Now, one thing I always do is I always season. If you've seen any of my other cooking demonstrations, you know I love to season. If you're not seasoning while you're cooking, you're doing your food a big disservice. So make sure that you season throughout. Now, I have the onions in here, and I'm not quite putting the garlic in, and I just want to explain why. But before I do, I'm going to start with a very tedious, sometimes staining your fingers, annoying process of peeling this enormous butternut squash. Now, let me get back to the onions and garlic in a minute. One little trick I like to do, you could peel, whether it's this butternut squash or it is a carrot or whatever it is you're peeling, you could peel it right over the garbage can, or like I'm going to do, I'm going to peel it right over a paper towel so that when it's time to clean up, it's just you pick up the paper towel and you're ready to go. I feel like I used to just peel into the sink, and that is just so annoying because then you're just having to pick up all the little peels. It's not fun. So I just peel directly into this. Sometimes I peel into a bowl if you're gonna have like a lot of scraps, like if you're doing a carrot and you have to cut the ends. Sometimes I would do that. In this situation, maybe I should have, because we're gonna have to cut the ends and use seeds. Okay, so the onions and the garlic. Now I just want to, I'm gonna lower my heat even more because I don't want these brown to the point where like they're not good, right? So we're just gonna go on medium-low heat. So the reason you do onions and garlic separate is because garlic has a much higher heat, like it cooks faster. So you will have burnt garlic if you put your garlic in at the same time you put your onion in. So you want your onion to get nice and soft, and the garlic can just be cooked down like maybe a minute. You definitely, if you put them in, if you've ever done it before, you do burn everything in the pan. So not fun. I'm not even going to bother to take that sticker off. It's just going to come off right when I peel this. So there we go. We are almost done peeling this. Now, as far as size, you're going to want for this recipe about a 2-pound butternut squash. This one, you can see how big it is. It looks huge right now in this picture, but this is a large one. I guess you can adjust the amount of liquid and the amount of onion for a larger squash. And if it's smaller, you just adjust it for smaller. But basically, you're going to have 2 pounds of butternut squash, and eventually we're going to use about, I guess, like 28 to 32 ounces of vegetable broth. And that will be